Good morning and welcome to the Fencing Grounds. I'm Chris Van Slambrock. Let's talk about the Tag Stuck from Joachim Meyer's 1570 published work on the art of combat. They all are dependent, including the counter to Tag, which is arguably the first device or stuck from key or Schlüssel. However, they're all dependent on understanding that you are approaching your opponent and they're already in a high position and you're either slashing, shifting, whatever, but you're coming into measure, going up into the high guard above your high openings, and they have several things they can do. They can chase an opening, they can linger for a little bit, maybe they don't know what they're doing just for a sec, or they literally linger to bait you into something. So, if they chase and strike high, you do the most Lichtenauering thing ever. You give them a glutes, and then there's an after fight. We'll talk about it with some Unterhaus and some double squinters and stuff. They could chase and strike low, or chase and strike high diagonally, and the response is the same from us. We dump down, we repel it, we suppress their attack, and within that beat and that space, we attack. If they chase after it, successfully or not, we let it run off and we cut around, either to give a slice, or, because we're talking the second and third Tagstück here, or you cut around and give it the Zver, a cut across. Now, talking about cutting around and giving the slice, that is kind of the counter to the first Stuck, where you parry with the flat, you do your Glutzhau, and then you throw an Unter, and immediately upon contact, before they counter you, you slip in a short edge cut at their ear. If they slip in at that, just like the cut around in the second and third devices, you let it run off, but this time you use your short edge. So, to continue. Now, if they don't chase your opening that you're offering, they start to linger. As soon as they don't chase your opening and you're actually into the position of Tag, that furthest most position, then you need to seize the vor yourself. You need to be bold, so you thrust by crossing your hands into Ox, and that's going to give us the fourth Stuck and Tag another, or arguably the fifth device from Tag, or Stuck. So, within the fourth Stuck, we have the counter to an Unter Abzug, right? Those counters marry up with Meyer's advice for someone who's keen on going up, and we'll get that, which is basically give them low cuts. So, after those devices, we've got the other choice. When you are facing an opponent who's already in a position and you pull up to bait them, to give them an offer, they don't chase, you throw that point in their face, they don't give a reaction, that is where you don't want to return to your position. They're going to follow you. That's seemingly obvious. That's what Meyer tells us to do. So instead of going back to the high guard, you shift back and fall into Schlüssel. So now we're in the counter to Tag. You've confirmed that they're lingering, and if they don't have a plan, they're fully developing one because they want you to come in. So you do. And Meyer's advice is, if someone is often pulling up into the high guard, you give them some low cuts. So there's a whole lot of what to do from and with low cuts on either end within this Tag workshop. I want you to think about that as you study and read.